Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Happy Friday, I guess, for some who work Monday to Friday. A beautiful day outside. Today is going to be another day at the lake. So, ready to go there later today and try to catch the last swimming opportunities in Lake Michigan. It's a long autumn, fall, and I should take advantage of that. So before I do that, I think I can't let you just off the hook with the new developments here in on this planet. So I have about 8 articles or 8 subjects and about 10 articles. First one, North Korea is a nuclear power and it has to be accepted and welcomed among the beautiful club of nuclear powers. Lavrov agrees with that, and I think that's a fact. You can't reverse that unless you do something major there, and these guys have been trying to do that for some time. So that's the North Korea subject. Major attack, overnight attack by the Russians. They attacked the Ukrainian infrastructure and some Danube River ports. It seems like some drones entered Romanian airspace. Let's see if Romania will hit them. Let's see if Russia will nuke Romania, obviously. That is the course, it seems. I have all this evidence that Kiev, evidence coming from the Ukrainians and the Romanians and the Russians as well. The Russians bombarded Kiev for 5 hours. 5 hours. Next one. Next subject. NATO, which is the guys in charge of us, which is actually the United States of America, actually the guys in charge of the United States of America, which are not our politicians, they are preparing you and me for war with Russia. That is, we're going to be the casualties and the wounded ones. This is according to Russia Today. NATO prepares for war with Russia. That means Russian nuclear threats are just taken like, hey, it's okay, it's not going to happen to us, it's going to happen to the baboons, which are the commoners, the plebeians. Next one. Trump agrees now to meet Zelenskyy, and he publishes the letter that he received from Zelensky's cabinet or office. I think it's a 4th grade letter, supposedly coming from Zelenskyy. I will read it for you entirely. It's short and shallow. That's going to happen in New York City. And my question is, why doesn't it happen in Mar-a-Lago, in Florida, where actually Trump is? Trump received over there Orban and others. They came to him. He didn't go to New York City, where Mr. Zelenskyy is located for a few days because of the United Nations General Assembly and so on. And the last subject for today is some criminals want to, I would say criminals, but I will tell you exactly who want to give Ukraine white phosphorus shells. Well, so whenever you hear these baboons crying and oh my God, about the Russians using white phosphorus, which I don't think they used. I know some other guys in the Middle East that used. Then you know that these criminals are trying to do the same thing. Supposedly, some unexpected garbage stood in between this, how do you call it, State Department and Ukraine receiving white phosphorus shells. So let's start with the beginning. Here it is. This is Lavrov. It says, Russia's Lavrov says North Korea's nuclear status is a, quote-unquote, closed issue. I totally agree with that. And my question is, who decides who can have nuclear weapons? Well, the guys who already have it? Okay, then why can you have it and can't we have it? Because you are responsible? That doesn't fly. I know only one country that already used atomic bombs, so that country actually should be denuclearized. Now, I'm not obviously, I'm not arguing for that. I just said in an argument with who should have and who shouldn't. I mean, however you take it, there are some countries that actually should not have it because they're not trustworthy. They already used it. So, and you can say, well, that means they know what to do with it. Well, that means the other ones that didn't use it, then take those guys' nuclear weapons, right? So it's a tricky question. My point is, if you are a country, a small country that could be bullied around by the big countries, a nuclear weapon should protect you from, protect you, make you be independent. Now, obviously, the guys will impose sanctions on you because they don't want you at the table. That's a given. But nevertheless, that's the way to ensure that you could be independent. North Korea is as it is, and Russia obviously now is becoming friendlier to North Korea because of these baboons who were very diplomatic. Not. So, there you have it. Russia says, well, North Korea should be. Maybe tomorrow is going to be, let's say, Serbia. Why not? Maybe Iran. Oh my God. Oy vey. We got the other ones. All right. So, nevertheless, let's read a little bit, maybe one or two paragraphs to see what exactly Lavrov says. Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov said on Thursday that Moscow viewed the notion of the, quote-unquote, denuclearizing North Korea as a closed issue, as it understood Pyongyang's logic of relying on nuclear weapons as the foundation of its defense. Lavrov, answering a question on his ministry's website, said Russia would stand alongside North Korea in resisting what he said the US portrays as, and I'm quoting, expanded nuclear deterrence alongside South Korea and Japan in Asia-Pacific region. And I'm quoting, this is clearly a real and extremely serious threat to regional security, Lavrov wrote. And I'm quoting, in these conditions, the very term of denuclearization, as applied to North Korea, has lost all meaning. For us, this is a closed issue. All right, that is, move on. So they will not participate in any sanctions that even the United Nations Security Council would try to impose. Well, obviously, these guys imposed on North Korea like they imposed on Cuba for so long. And what shows you how this world is supposed to operate by the rules-based world order is like this. I impose sanctions on you, and everyone else back the fuck off and you follow my sanctions. If you don't, I will fuck you up. All right? It's not between me and you. It's between us that I grab here as vassal states and you. Now, if you like that one, imagine that you are in a neighborhood and that happens to you and see how you're going to like it. All right, let's go to the next article or next topic. Russian missiles and drones target Kiev for 5 hours and hit Ukraine's power grid. All right, let's see. Ukraine's air defense battled an overnight Russian aerial attack on the capital Kiev for 5 hours, official says Thursday, as missiles and drones again hammered the Ukrainian power grid. The Kiev attack injured at least papa, ppp, poop, kindergarten, and zibi. In western Ukraine, the Air Force said Russia fired 3 Kinzhal hypersonic ballistic missiles. I think this is just a prelude to, a nuclear attack on someone with Kinzhal. Kinzhals could be fitted with nuclear warheads, and they're going to be fitted on MiG-31. Basically, you're done. But hey, if the Poles have balls, let's see if they have the right targets. You know what I mean. On the Russia's most advanced weapons, and I'm quoting, in the direction of Starokostiantiniv, a city in Khmelnytsky region. That's where I think the Ukrainians have that airstrip fitted to use, or fitted for F-16s on Thursday morning. And Khmelnytsky region is right here. And this is exactly where they hit it. This is Ukraine, this is Poland, this is going to be Poland soon. And here is, so my Polish friends, you got it. All right, and here is where they shot. With Kinzhal, I'm guessing, from somewhere. We're going to find out. All right, so why do I say that? The Poles will get that. Maybe the Hungarians will get the Transcarpathia. And Romania will not get its Bessarabia and Bukovina. Why? Because they are under total occupation. Anyway, of you-know-whom. All right, what else? Let's see here. Long-range strikes have been a hallmark of Russia's military campaign in Ukraine since when? Since when? Now deep in its third year, often hitting attack on electricity network have knocked out around 70% of Ukraine's energy generation capacity, according to the United Nations, bringing blackouts as winter approaches. Well, why don't you tell your masters to back off and talk to the Russians? How about that one? All right, let's go to the next one. Ukraine form. Ukraine's air defense is down 24 Russian Shahed drones overnight. Today, the 27th of September 2024, Ukrainian air defense forces shot down 24 Russian Shahed-type drones overnight. And here is the evidence. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 59. Okay, let's move on. During the night, the Russian forces launched a ballistic Iskander M/KN-23 missile from temporarily occupied Crimea, as well as 2 Kh-22 cruise missiles from 2 22 M3 bombers over Black Sea. Where is that at? Right here. So this is the Crimean Peninsula, this is the Black Sea, this is the weasel country of Romania. This is what should be Romania, but hey, what can you do? This is Ukraine, and it's from this area, the Crimean Peninsula, and these 222s came from far away from here, and then they launched their missiles that way. All right, let's see what else. In addition, the invaders launched 32 Shahed attack drones from the Primorsko-Akhtarsk area. You know, Primorsko-Akhtarsk area is right where my strong hand is, right here. This is right there, Primorsko-Akhtarsk. This is the area across from the Sea of Azov. This is where they usually send the drones here. Then Cape Shauda is right here, so Chauda and other little areas of Bethlehem. All right, let's move on. Next one. Ukrainska Pravda, they tell us they shot down 24 out of 32. One Shahed UAV enters Romania. So what is the mighty Romanian army that is about 50,000 people? In the communist times, Romania had about an army of about 200,000 strong. Nowadays, I think it was reduced to about 50,000. Fat fucks, that's what they have. No insult, but I know them. All of them I know. And anyway, and they are, why? Because they're protected. By whom? By Al Capone. So if Russia does something to Romanians because Romanians are going to be just innocent, then the Americans are going to defend Romania on Romanian territory. And after Romania is boom, 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 the Americans are, oops, moving back, where? To Hungary. And when these guys are going to attack Czech Republic, not Hungary, then they're going to move back to where? To Austria? It depends how Austria goes. And then going to go out to Poland. Poland will not exist by that time because the Russians will have special Kinzhals for them. Or maybe some, I don't know, some Tsar bombs. Why? The no lost love between the two. I think if the Poles will have nuclear weapons and will be in the... That's my assessment. I obviously don't have to agree with anything I say. But if the Poles will have nuclear weapons, let's say, and Russia will not have nuclear weapons, so Poland has, Russia will not, Poland would have even fucked the Russians already 10 times. That's my assessment of this. Why? You know, that's their psychological reality when an abused individual never forgets. And a person who thinks that you know, it was done wrong will keep that in mind and in heart. So when he has the upper hand, we're going to hug the perceived or a real oppressor real bad. So be careful here in the United States of America when you have certain kind of people who have a lot of grievances against certain groups. When they get over you, they will pull a Haiti 1806 on you. Go and check that in history, what that is. If you don't know, that means I was yapping around here for nothing. All right, let's move on. So the Russians attack Ukraine with Iskander M ballistic missile from occupied Crimea, 2 Kh-22 cruise missiles fired by 2 22 M3 bombers from Black Sea. The Russians also launched 32 Primorsko-Akhtarsk. Let's see where the weasels from Romania are. No, nothing here. And it's okay, right here. We got more. So Russians attack Izmail in Odesa. Why? Because we have here Russian drone may have breached Romanian airspace during overnight attack on Ukraine. And Romania will attack Russia, will defend itself with the help of Al Capone. Russians attack Izmail in Odesa, Oblast, killing 3 people and injuring 14 photos. Okay, let's see where Izmail is. Izmail is in, should be in Romania, but it's not. It's not. So here is Romania. This is the whatever fake country of Moldova, which is from Bessarabia, which is this Bessarabia, taken by Stalin, the Georgian Stalin, given to Ukraine eventually, like many other territories. Like Khrushchev gave in 1954, Crimea Peninsula to Ukraine, and then Ukraine said, it's ours. Yeah, it was ours. It was ours. So let's see. Here we have the Danube River. Comes from here, beep, 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 beep. Here is Bulgaria, this is Romania, beep, 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 crosses over there, exactly like that, and then it goes like this, and flows into the Black Sea. And here we have the Snake Island. Used to be Romanian, but hey, Anna Pauker gave it to Soviet Union. Anna Pauker being a Zelenskyy's time. Just, her name was Hanna Robinson. She was just planted by the Soviets into Romania as being the big boss, like Bruce Lee. Whoa, mat meow meow. Cat, come over here. Coming. All right, so here is Izmail right here on the bank of the whoopee. All right, on the Danube River. So this is where they shot. Usually they do it on Reni too, but Izmail here. So they say, oh, they crossed. What, meow meow? No, you can't go that way. You come this way or that way. You can do your. All right. So they hit Izmail. This is the Danube River. So probably something entered here. All right, let's go back here. Rapatsapa, kaparapa. 3 people were killed. The enemy resorted to large-scale terror against Izmail in the early morning. The Russians launched attack drones on our Oblast's southern part. The combat efforts by the air defense forces were long and strong and hard and intense. Sadly, let's see. Now, when they say anything? Well, did you? Nothing. I don't care about these pictures. All right, let's move to this. Right here. Russian drone may have breached Romanian airspace during overnight attack on Ukraine. Bucharest. A Romanian drone may have breached the national airspace of NATO. You see how they change now? NATO member Romania, not Romania, a member state of NATO. No, NATO member state. Oh, it's grammatically correct. You don't know. These guys are just trying to create Pavlovian, how do you call that? Conditioning. So you know that NATO is, and Romania is part of NATO. It's not Romania is a country. It's going to be the other way around. Is the clothes of Emil, or Emil of the clothes, not the clothes of Emil, or Emil's clothes. No. It's going to be Emil of the clothes, or something like this. It's going to be the other way around. You'll see. Little by little is NATO space. For a very brief period and under 3 minutes overnight during an attack on neighboring Ukraine, the Romanian Defense Ministry said on Friday. The drone attack on the southern Ukrainian town of Izmail that we featured already, just across the Danube River from Romania, killed 3 people. Now, Romania scrambled 2 F-16 fighter jets and 2 Spanish F-18s. What do you mean Spanish? These are made in Spain? No, these are Spanish forces in Romania, because as in a friendship and equal relationship, it's reciprocity. So if I you 3 times, you me 3 times, okay? But no, here you get 3 times and you yourselves. So that's how it goes. F-18s from Spain, and these guys have only F-16s. And it's only Spanish. They have British, they have Americans, they have Dutch, they have Belgians, they had French. Thousands of troops over there. And Romania has thousands of troops in America defending the western flank of NATO's USA. You're never going to hear that. NATO's USA. No, you're going to say USA. Why? Because USA is in charge, and it should be. All right, so here you have them. They did it. So my issue is, or my question is, what are you going to do? Și ce o să faceți? Huh? I tell you what you're going to do. You're going to do what Al Capone tells you to do. Are you going to attack Russia? They're going to nuke you. Are you going to hit the Russian missiles, incoming drones that coming towards your country? Russia will attack you. That's what they said. And the Russians are very consistent, in good or in evil. I understand you have to defend your country with someone else's troops because they're over there to defend you and protect you. That's such a big story. So, I understand you have to shoot it when it enters your airspace. What are you going to do next? You see, the law is as it is, but the problem is there are some, we are all equal, but some are more equal than others. You remember George Orwell, Animal Farm? Exactly. So unfortunately, there are some big countries and small countries, one is in the Middle East, that can violate the international so-called law how much they fucking want. Sorry, pardon my Romanian. All right? So they can do it, but the rest, oh my God, oy vey, you can't do that. You can't. We're going to impose sanctions. We're going to regime change. We're going to bombard you. You have to follow the international law. But some of us, can violate whenever we want. So Russia tries to be part of that, but is not allowed to come to the table of the violators, which I mentioned only 2 of more than 2. All right? So that's the problem here. So I understand that what Russia is doing is something bad, violates the airspace of Romania. And if you would be an equal to Russia, you would shoot the Russian drones that come towards you. The problem is you're not an equal. You have NATO. And Russia knows that. So if you're going to try to do that, the Russians will attack you. And if you, which is NATO, US, and the Spanish F-18s, will hit the Russians, then you're going to be at war with Russia and you're going to lose. And if you continue fighting, we all going to lose. Not the guys who are in charge of this war. They're not going to lose. They're going to lose some of us. But it's okay. They're going to bring some others from other areas and help the Europeans become non-Europeans. All right, let's move on. So, unfortunately, by the international law, Romania is allowed to defend itself and find ways. The problem is Romania is under occupation, military, political occupation, economic occupation, and cultural occupation. That means garbage is blown into Romania day and night to become like imbeciles here, some of them. We have to fight that back with words, obviously, and we're just voting. Work within the system. So, my friends, unfortunately, Romania is not at that stage. North Korea is. Why? Has nuclear weapons. Do you have? Ceausescu wanted nuclear weapons at one point. Remember that one? We even had a nuclear program regarding that, but they closed it. Why? Well, it's better to be someone else's vassal state than be really you. Damn it. Anyway, let's move on. Next one. NATO outlines plans in event of war with Russia. Like what? Do you think Russia will have a conventional war with NATO? I don't think they can, because they will lose. They will not have a nuclear. Yeah, exactly. They will have a nuclear war with you guys, which is the baboons in charge of NATO, and NATO, which is the United States of America, will use little countries to test the Russians, and that would be Poland, Baltic states, Romania. These are going to be the first useful idiots, and then the other ones. And some of them will go gladly against Russia, thinking that the Russians will not nuke them. I think they will. So the problem is you and people in that area will be but not the guys who say, yeah, let's fight the Russians, let's defend our nation. You first. And what do they do? I covered it in a video yesterday. The US-led bloc would likely have to evacuate large number of casualties using hospital trains, its logistic chief has said. NATO would have to deal with a large number of frontline casualties without the capability to airlift them for treatment in the event of major war with Russia, the bloc's logistic chief has said. This guy is underestimating the nuclear nuclear war attack. The challenge will be, this guy says, to swiftly ensure high quality care for, in worst case, a great number of wounded. It means atomic bombs. Why don't you ask the Japanese how they airlifted their casualties? They remained as shadows on the walls, on the pavement. How are we going to airlift that? With the chisels? Is that how you would excavators or bulldozers? What are you going to use to get rid of that? That's imbecilic. Anyway, for planning reasons, all options to take a great number of wounded to medical installations need to be considered. Yeah, they're planning like you're going to survive. I don't think so. Which includes trains, but potential also buses. Oh my God, it's a joke. But prepare, you're going to be used. You're going to be used. And when that comes closer to them, like a real danger, if they get to that point, they will say, okay, let's talk to Putin. That's it. And give this to them, give this to them. Everything, just leave us alone. The moment this comes close to their interest, which is their family, and themselves, not their nations, themselves and their families, they will immediately be like, oh, stop, right? That's it. I mean, everything was bad. And who made those decisions? Don't bring a mirror here and don't point fingers at anybody. And it's going to be what? You and your families, or me included. Let's move on. Zelenskyy agrees to meet Zelenskyy in New York City. Why in New York City? I tell you why. Because according to the letter that Trump published with Zelenskyy's message, Zelenskyy tells Trump, I'm going to be in New York City for a little while. Why don't you come over? Bring the pink champagne, some chocolate, and I'm going to wear the red panties for you. Okay, baby doll, I'm coming. China. And he's going to show up. Now, that's Trump. Why is he not doing the same thing for Zelenskyy, who, by the way, he's in New York City. He visited Pennsylvania ammunition plant. So Zelenskyy could be moved around the United States however he wants, but he's not going to go to meet Zelenskyy. Is that foreign states interference in other countries' domestic affairs? No, yet it's not. Well, I think it is. No, yes, no. They accused Orban when Orban went to Mar-a-Lago. It's interference. Oh my God, you can't do that. Now Zelenskyy is going to meet Putinstein, whatever his name is, Trumpstein. He's not a Trumpstein, but he's related to Trumpsteins. Okay, let's read that. Letter, right? Right here. All right. Trump agrees to meet with Zelenskyy. The former U.S. president recently accused the Ukrainian leader of casting nasty aspersions against him. But he goes to meet him where Zelenskyy wants. So who's in charge? Who is in charge? Why don't you ask Trump in his The Art of the Deal? Who's in charge? He gave something already after he just talked. So remember, actions are louder or speak louder than words, and that's exactly what's going on over here. Action, and everybody's Trump. He doesn't say anymore, lock her up. Isn't that strange? Why not? He's not why is that? He's not calling anything about the swamp, draining the swamp, calling names. He doesn't call the nasty media anymore. Why is that? Do you think he just got dry of that? People don't want to hear that. I think he is with Damocles sword above him, if you know the expression. If you don't, look into it. All right, so let's see where the... I want a different setting here. All right, this is the letter, right? Denis Sienik, Deputy Ambassador of Ukraine. Donald Trump, the real deal. Okay, what's his name? Holyfield, wasn't he the real deal? Yes, he was. I think he still is. He's still alive. So let me read this for you. Would you please be so kind to pass this message from President Zelenskyy, President Zelenskyy, to Trump? Dear Donald, I'm gonna wear the wet red panties for you. I hope you're doing well. Your cock is still active. I recall our recent phone call. Me too. It was really good. All of us in Ukraine, all of us, who's us, want to end this war with a just peace. Remember, Zelenskyy said that Donald Trump does know how to end the war. Insults, but hey, they're gonna meet. And we know that without America, this is impossible to achieve. That's why we have to strive to understand each other and remain in close contact. How close? To put it out. Days ago, we requested a meeting with you, and I really want to hear your thoughts directly and firsthand. You know, I always speak with great respect about everything connected to you. That's a lie. That's a lie. You know that's a lie, right? Let me go back to where I was. So you know that's a lie. It's not true that he did, because he said he doesn't know what he's talking about. Paparap. So let's go back to this. We figured out things. You know, I always speak with great respect about everything connected to you, and that's how it should be. This is a weasel. I can be in New York on Friday, which would be a good time to meet. I believe it's important for us to have a personal contact and understand each other 100%. Let me know if you are in the city at the time. I would really like for our meeting to take place by fireplace as part of our efforts to help us end this war in a just way. Sincerely, Volodymyr. Ah, man. First, I think this was a child composed. I don't think that Zelenskyy wrote that, but whoever wrote that, well, at least it was straight and, clear. I like that, regardless how, pop it is. The message is clear. I want to meet you, baby doll. And I'm lying because I say I always speak nicely of you. That's a lie. We're going to meet for a just peace. All right, we're going to just peace or what? We'll see. So this is it. Trump will meet Zelensky's time. I don't think he shouldn't. I think he should. I think Trump should meet anybody that has an importance on this planet, Kim Jong-un included, or the president of Iran as well, and Maduro of Venezuela. I think that he should meet anyone. Direct contact and, avoiding other garbages and interpretation is the best way to go. I mean, if you don't talk to one another, how are you expected to solve any problem? Eliminate misunderstanding, let's put it this way. And that gets me to the last article and topic for today, or not for today, for this video. Another one will come after this. Ukrinform, Pentagon's offer to give Ukraine white phosphorus shells repeatedly rejected by White House. Well, I don't know if that's correct, but you remember these guys play the same game, as I said many times before. They escalate the mountain slope model. Start slow and then eventually give us the decision that they already made. So the decision for white phosphorus, I guarantee you, was made a long time ago. They're doing just this game. You want it? I don't want it. Come on, man. I don't want it. Oh, yeah. That's how they game. But she wants to be, he wants to, so he wants to give it, she wants to take it, and whatever you want to call it. But they play this foreplay. That's how they do it. That's exactly. So yeah, these guys want it, but the White House says, no, not yet. All right, I'm not ready. All right, I think that's a crime. But next time when you hear them, anybody in the U.S. Media, the corporate media, the legacy media, as I call them, the system operatives, telling you that Russians use white phosphorus or the Iranians or whatever, think about that. We want it, and probably they already used it. We'll find out, right? I think they did, didn't they? I know they have, how do you call that? From the Brits, they have, I was about saying nuclear shells. But anyway, depleted uranium shells. Again, is that a chemical weapon? I think it is. But hey, if the Russians use it, it is. If we use it, it's not. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.